In African, this is a meal that before used to be known as chakula wanaume pekee. Welcome back to Konami with me, Stacey Candy. Again, today we are back to the kitchen making something very sweet. And if you're an African, this is a meal that before used to be known as chakula wanaume pekee. So you already have a clue about what I'm talking about. And it's something that is sweet, but even if it was chakula waze, I think also despite them saying we as ladies take liver, it's still okay considering our monthly days. But anyways, please, it's a new era, so we're going to make the gizzards, which we're going to begin cooking right away. So tenda kazi, karibuni. We begin by first removing the outer membrane from the gizzards, and then we'll wash our gizzards. Ensure you wash it in running water so that all the dirt. We want our gizzards to be clean, free from any fat or any layer that is on top other than the main gizzard. Next, we begin our marination process. So for the marination, we have our dark soy sauce, thyme, and then black pepper, garlic powder, and some salt. Once all our ingredients are ready, we begin the marination process by first adding garlic powder, thyme, black pepper, salt, and our magic ingredient, which is soy sauce, which will drizzle it on top of the gizzards, and then we'll mix it in. Once all our ingredients are well mixed, next we're going to let our gizzards rest and let it marinate for a minimum of 1 hour to overnight. The reason why we let it stay for that long is so that it can be a bit soft. Gizzards they're naturally hard, so to ensure that it becomes a bit soft, we let it marinate for a longer period of time. Gizzards have marinated for about 5 hours now, and now we are going to begin cooking the gizzards. We're first going to pre-boil it for it to also become much more softer and tender before we start cooking it. Gizzards are now well boiled and they're ready for cooking. So to cook the gizzards, our ingredients are ginger, garlic, tomato paste, 2 onions, 2 tomatoes, and bell peppers. Our bell peppers we're going to use the green one, the yellow one, and the red one. The peppers I'm using, they're commonly referred to as hoho in Kenya. Next, we're going to do our meal prep, which will begin by chopping up all our ingredients and dicing them into small, nice cubes. Meal prepping makes work easier in the kitchen. So the next part of this process is going to be very quick. We're going to begin by first adding in half of our onions, then the other half we'll use it later and I'll tell you why. So stick around to know why we're going to add the other half of our onions later on, and you don't want to miss to see the end product of this meal. I'm sure you'll love it. Once our onions are well fried and they're golden brownish in color, we're going to add in our ginger and garlic paste. Then we're going to add in our dhania stems or parsley stems. We're going to add in our chopped bell peppers or hohos as you'd like to call them, and let it cook for a very short time. We don't want it to be to cook. Add in your tomatoes and then we'll add in our spice. By now your kitchen should be having a very nice aromatic smell, and we're about to make our neighbors want to taste what we are cooking by adding in our spices and kill them with a smell. So for our spices, we're going to add coriander powder, black pepper, some turmeric, cumin, curry powder, chicken masala, and tomato paste. We are adding in the chicken masala to give it that chickenish flavor because gizzards are from chicken. The gizzards I'm using today, they are chicken gizzards. Once our tomatoes have been done oozing out or removing the thick paste that we need, we're going to add in our thyme and then salt. For the salt, we're going to do it the Salt Bay way, and make sure you have some fun in the kitchen. Once we get the thick paste that we need from the tomatoes, we're going to add in our gizzards that we had pre-boiled earlier on and let it cook for just about 5 minutes before we finish off our cooking process. Next, we're going to add in the remaining onions that we hadn't used at the beginning. The reason why I'm adding this other part of the onions at the end is to give our gizzards that fresh taste from the onions. You don't want it to feel like it had been fried for quite some time earlier on. So that's why we are adding the remaining onions. If you find that your meal is quite acidic, or if you find that you want to make it a bit much more sweeter, we are going to lessen our acidity, reduce the acidity. We're going to add in some sugar, very little sugar into it. Sugar helps in reducing the acidity produced or the acid produced by the tomatoes. Finally, our meal is almost ready for eating, and we're going to add in our dhania leaves. This is to just garnish our meal and to give it more life before we plate and serve our food for eating. Guys, we're finally done with our meal. The meal that was before referred to as the men's food only. You couldn't touch it as part of the chicken. So yeah, we are done, and it's looking very sweet and delicious and yummy. And we're going to taste it. But before that, have you subscribed? If not yet, remember to subscribe and click the button bell below to get notified whenever I post the next recipe. And now we're going to taste our meal and feel how it tastes. It's yummy, soft and crunchy. That's what we intend for this meal. Soft, very soft and crunchy. You want the inside to be soft, but as you chew it's crunchy and you feel every bite and every moment of that meal. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and share with your friends, like and comment if you also have encountered meals in your community that are referred to or regarded as for a particular gender. Thank you and see you next time. As for me, I'll remain and continue eating and serve with some ugali. Thank you. Goodbye.